I guess we're go time. I don't know, I kind of ran out of pre-game stuff to say, so we're playing video games now. Which isn't 100% entirely true, because there's like one more conversation. There's like a couple more conversation bits I want to have, specifically with What's-Her-Face and What's-Her-Face. Visas and Handmaiden specifically. Hooray, video game! Gonna play the video game.
My life.
Okay, you had no new dialogue. Because, like, I listened to a lot of people's thoughts when I was training with Kreia.
I want to have a word.
What is it?
I wanted to make sure that we have some things clear. Right now, we both seek the same goals. Whatever our reasons may be, the Sith must be stopped. If they destroy the Jedi, the Republic will fall and my people will be eradicated or enslaved. To survive, I'll help you. But as Mandalore, I have another duty. The unification of the clans.
Okay, how do you plan on going about that?
After our defeat at Malachor, the survivors spread across the Outer Rim, many taking up work as mercenaries, or worse. But they cannot have fallen so far that they will not recognize a new Mandalore has been chosen. One who will restore our people to glory. I'll fight beside you, but I'm warning you, don't get in my way. I'm not asking for help. I'm just asking you to let me do this. Cross me, and I might have to reevaluate our arrangement.
Yeah, I don't exactly have any intentions of getting in your way. So I'll keep that in mind.
After the Sith are dealt with, you can turn your attention to us. Or maybe we can forge an alliance of our own. Our next battle need not be fought against your Republic. Consider what I've said. Now, is there something else you needed?
No. Like, yeah, the Mandalorians were a huge threat, but only because, like, you know, really, the Mandalorians aren't exactly wrong here. The Republic, when the Mandalorians were fighting, the Mandalorians were, like, just trying to find a good battle, and the Republic was just not giving it. The Republic was actually pretty much exactly as they described, pretty weak, pretty spineless, and the Jedi were just, like, not doing anything. Yeah, it caused Revan to fall to the dark side and all that, but, like, the Mandalorians were essentially a force of nature, from my perspective, and the Republic just kind of did nothing. Sort of. Until Revan decided to get in their head of, like, yeah, no, we're gonna fight and stop this because, you know, we're gonna die otherwise. And the Mandalorians weren't trying to conquer everything, they were trying to fight strong guys. So, like, I have no intention of getting in the way of Mandalore, of Canderous, like, reunifying the Mandalorians. If that historically were to bite me in the ass later, so be it. Hello.
Yes?
Okay, no one else had anything interesting going on. Also, I leveled everybody up for people that weren't around on Thursday. I leveled people up. And, yeah. That's about it. I didn't really bother with doing it. It was a catch-up, and I caught up. Oh, right, no, there was something else I wanted to talk to the Handmaiden about. Hold up, also. Okay, back to that. How's everyone doing today, by the way? How's it going? Tell me neat things. Alright, speaking of, I gotta hold, like, literally one other person. Finished fixing something for works, cleaned the apartment, very productive, nice. I still need to finish cleaning out my room, specifically my closet, but I have not gotten around to that. I either haven't had the energy, haven't had the time, or both.
Yes?
I want to return to the academy on Telos.
It is not possible to dock at the academy without the proper codes.
Do you have them?
Yes, but I could not give them to you.
Okay. I had a feeling that wouldn't lead anywhere, but I had to try. Just in case that would do a thing. Haven't done that yet, because in the situation of it's still in box when you move to unbox. Yeah, exactly. More or less how I feel about it, except I don't have a definitive time of when I'm moving anytime soon. Like, we're spending 1 more year in this apartment because we just re-signed a lease because they didn't raise our rent. So we decided, hey, it ain't broke. Okay, that is enough screwing around. I'm saving over that one from like a million years ago. Where is Nar Shaddaa? Temperate climate, decaying urban zones, refugee landing pad. Oh, I forgot to test something else too. We'll see in a second. Okay, good. Movie step sound. I still have no idea what randomly causes that, but restarting the game always fixes it. We're probably gonna move when our lease is up as well, but like...
Well, here we are. The Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go.
Too many Mandalorians were scattered after the war, without purpose and without direction. Most became little more than raiders.
Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot.
What's Nal Hutta?
It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years.
That bad? I didn't think anything could compel you to bathe.
You spend all day thinking up that joke? Maybe you and Beodur should start a circus.
I fail to understand the reference, though I doubt your explanation would prove worthwhile.
I need a clip of that. I absolutely need a clip of that for general purposes. You sound like you've been here before.
Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice.
Okay, so what's the refugee sector?
Not everyone who came to Nar Shaddaa were soldiers. A lot of worlds were destroyed by the Mandalorians and the Jedi. Left a lot of people wandering the galaxy.
So there's a lot of ex-soldiers on Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah, some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers. So others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy.
How hard would it be, hypothetically, of course, to find a Jedi here?
It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. Finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in. Or find you once you arrive.
How hard will it be to hide here?
Shouldn't be too hard. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. We're going to touch down in...
Okay, let's just go then.
I've plotted a course for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's gonna find us here.
bum 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 ba da ba da ba da 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 da. Did my game crash? I think my game crashed. I actually didn't freeze frame this for that Curb Your Enthusiasm theme reference, but like... Oh, cool. Oh, cool, a Wookiee. Atten is a cool dude. I don't know why I don't take him along more. Oh, good, our friends.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While he walks upon the smuggler's moon, he is not to be harmed. You may watch him, observe his movements, but nothing more. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Mababe want to susintu mukarata. Tu esfektonatada beer mabar jokto. Torenibu inturata sisi meborokra.
Panisukakran, Jokramata, Storshban Locha. Joanna Masaranka ma Ramazurata. Keso Juskrita Lorsa. Yumacha Fueko Mikojira.
Loka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Du rantamana sobu. Febko emaream gawata situ insula raka rakachata. Tamaso kinchuda wanka. Mopi unawana si chokoratawa.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
The Upobotenyo go Jucho Picha, when Tabani Sochu, Norotoga Proto Lala Shishi, Juadosa Jibacha, Ratak Mansan, Tokosha Nachitolo, Joanna Masaranka ma Ramazurata, Keso Juskrita Lorsa, Yumacha Fuego Mikojira, Kawanabota Tagwa Kankadira, Yutaka Alwanji Yumaliba, Tues Mahawika Si Wawanta Mo Goika Wansoba, Wakama Nurawa.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Honto no Saka, Jita Bedwana Maticha, Doveri Nincha, Yonona Shitasa Chuch, Si Machatana, Dona Wisacha Makaran.
Hey Mint, how's it going? Hi, hello.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Never have I been to a place so alive with the Force, yet so dead to it. The contrast is like a blade.
Welcome to Nar Shaddaa. Towering buildings kilometers high and miles deep, with canyons so wide you could have a dogfight in them. Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours.
I've been falling for 20 minutes! We gonna be okay on this landing pad? Actually, first and foremost, while I have a choice, second off, we're gonna be okay on this landing pad.
Sure, most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be alright. I think.
Yeah, Monok looks a little exposed.
Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system.
Any problems with the, docking authorities?
No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the Exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of.
You know, like, say, me?
Alright then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
I kind of want to find out more about this bounty on Jedi.
Well, that means finding either a bounty hunter, a ranking member of the Exchange, or someone willing to talk, none of which are too appealing. Bounty hunters in the Exchange are going to want to shoot you, and someone who is willing to talk to anyone, which means trouble.
The bounty is a waste of our efforts. All that matters is the Jedi. The intentions of the thugs of this moon are of no consequence.
This bounty poses a threat to him. We do not need two beasts at our back when the Sith are enough.
I agree. They are nothing more than a distraction. But even a distraction may prove fatal at a critical moment. We must protect him.
I do not wish your support, Dark Jedi. Your words only undermine my arguments.
If you are so certain of your path, then do what you will, servant of Atris. It makes no difference.
It's up to you. There's bound to be someone in the sector willing to spill their guts for a credit or two.
Okay, well, if Zez-Kyle is here, then I want to find him.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions. It makes detection difficult. But this moon does not get any smaller while we wait. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible.
I'm also looking for a place to lay low, you know. Actually... yeah.
And just being here should be enough. People in the refugee sector don't tend to ask too many questions. We should be safe enough. There should be a central trading hub up ahead. Their stock's probably not the best, but they may have some things worthwhile.
Okay, well... alright, team, let's mosey.
Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad!
It's a landing pad. Ships land on it. Some kind of problem?
The problem is, you are on my landing pad. I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it?
What other ship?
That's none of your business. All you need to know is that they're gonna be firing up their quad lasers if they find your ship squatting there when they arrive.
I mean, it's a landing pad. Ships land on it.
No. Really? Thanks for the insight. And here I was, thinking you were a smart human. Now, either get that piece of junk off my piece of junk, or you're going for a 2-kilometer walk to the ground.
Jeez, buy me dinner first. Look, I can pay for the space and your time.
Yeah? Right now, all I'm hearing is talk. How much you offering?
I'm guessing 50 credits ought to be enough.
Done! Pleasure doing business with you. I got some visitors booked for your space, but I'm sure the two of you can work it out when they arrive.
I'm starting to like awareness, because I was prepared to offer a bit more than that. And that was enough to level you up. Okay, cool. No, I don't want stealth. That's certainly not 3 points of it. You have Constitution Max? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. Let's go with the healing. No. No, yeah, let's go with the healing. Dogs fighting with yeah, aerial dog fights with planes and space boats and stuff. Now I'm imagining an anime with like dogs that speak human in planes dog fighting, and the planes are shaped like dogs. Made Minnie irrelevant with a straw hat. Have you never seen episode 1? Okay. So that was a long-winded road of landing on the planet. What's wrong?
Not as of yet. Yes?
I mislike that a lot.
No, look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in.
To be fair, the question the character actually asked is something wrong, and Kreia responded not as of yet. I tend to take liberties when I'm asking these questions, usually to personal embarrassment, but that is the life of a streamer. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and not let you hurt that guy.
What is it?
I actually got one.
You are not.
Why am I unequipped? Hello?
Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure.
I couldn't stand by and let them hurt you. What was going on, buddy?
Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately.
What do you mean?
The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it.
Alright, where can I find Visquis?
You don't. He comes to you. If he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing.
Well, I was glad to help. You better head out before you run into any more trouble.
Whatever your reasons, thanks.
I was like 2 hits of light side points that I didn't need. They really let you just piano up and down the scale if you want. In this game. I kind of like that you don't have to wait till near end game.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need?
Sure.
Thank you, stranger. I won't forget your kindness.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring sand into his hands.
Nothing is said. As long as there's hope, there's a chance for redemption every day.
And would that be a kindness? What if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another?
And if he doesn't?
The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see. By giving him something he has not earned, perhaps all you have helped him become is a target. Seeing another elevated often brings the eyes of others who suffer. And perhaps in the end, all you have wrought is more pain. And that is my lesson to you. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than with a clenched fist.
You're not technically wrong, but I don't believe you're right either. I'll think about it.
Good. Mind what I have said. Use your power, but in its proper place.
Oh, but I gained influence off of it, so sure.
Spare a few credits, friend.
Depends. Got any info?
Alright. I don't know much beyond the refugee sector here, but I can share what I know.
Tell me about this place.
This sector's filled with refugees from the Jedi Civil War, and even as far back as the Mandalorian Wars. Refugees and war veterans both, and anyone else who was rendered homeless by the war. The Jedi destroyed planets across the galaxy, and here's where the wreckage ended up.
You know, the Jedi didn't do this, the Sith did.
That's 2 names for one thing. It's difficult to tell in the Crossfire, and the Sith were led by Jedi. In the end, it didn't make much difference.
Whatever, why are the refugees here?
A lot of space lanes cross at Nar Shaddaa, and once here, it's hard to move on. Even fighter pilots from the war can't get work at the docks. The freighter crews are full up. There's no work here and no way out, unless you want to become a hired muscle for the exchange, or work in a Hutt slave camp.
Do you know someone named Zez-Kyle?
No, should I? He doesn't sound like a Hutt. What, is he a bounty hunter or an exchange boss?
I'll be going now.
Friend, you did promise some credits in exchange for information.
Whatever.
Look, one other thing. It's obvious you're new around here. I can tell it just by looking at you. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place, and easy to get lost in. If you want, I can keep an ear out for you. Let you know if I hear anything.
I'd appreciate that. Actually, what do you get out of it?
Life's been better, and every credit can go a long way. Just think it over.
Okay, yeah, this place is gonna be rough. I'm kinda glad I saved it to second last.
And what did he want?
Not much. Just answers to some questions.
Really? Interesting.
Is that the red main...
Haven't heard anything more yet?
I literally saw her vanish, so you know, good lie. Dwoo. You don't look too good. Sounds like you have a full maintenance array. What happened? What are you doing in a scrap heap? Surprise is still intact after the explosion. I can find your master, I'll let him know you survived. What are you selling? Oh, I have one. Okay. Some part of Jedi Academy relearn drone beep language. I have a translator device on me, stolen off of an HK unit. It's been acting as my translator the whole game, turns out. It's also why the other HK knockoff units are, like, tracking me. I'm gonna try something. Okay. Wanted to see if that was like a thing. Okay. I just gotta be, like, every planet I feel a little bit more uneasy than the last. This is like an exchange planet.
Please, look, I already paid the exchange what I have. But oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time. Look, these gentlemen are getting impatient.
This man is under my protection. Leave. Now. Yeah, and I didn't even have to fight him.
Are you crazy? That was exchange muscle. When they hear about this, they'll come back a dozen strong and tear you limb from limb.
Good luck. I can handle them. By the way, aren't you gonna thank me?
Thank you? They'll be after me worse than ever. I'm laying low for a while. Maybe they'll forget about me.
I should have gotten him for info.
And what is it you think you have accomplished? If you seek to aid everyone that suffers in the galaxy, you will only weaken yourself and weaken them. It is the internal struggles, when fought and won on their own, that yield the strongest rewards. You stole that struggle from them, cheapened it. If you care for others, then dispense with pity and sacrifice, and recognize the value in letting them fight their own battles. And when they triumph, they will be even stronger for the victory.
I fear that will be your undoing.
Then your allies are your weakness, and if they die, you die with them. And because of that, where once the Sith had but one target, now there are many, and you frustrate my attempts to protect you. That is all I ask.
Yeah, I kind of figured that would lose that. Kreia is kind of tough to win over. Cool, what you got? To answer your question, Kreia, I accomplished Jack Diddley, didn't I? Okay, that's immunity to crits and awareness +1. Oh, I don't have. Don't have that much constitution. Not innately. It seems kind of annoying. Kreia is a difficult character for me to read. I like her as a character. She's acting as like the player character's teacher the entire game. Absolutely doesn't really adhere to light side at all, and me being light side is running counterintuitive to whatever her goals may be. She was a Sith and said she... I think she said she trained Revan, I'm not sure. Or she implied it or something. And I'm not entirely sure what her deal is. When we found her, she was dead. On our ship. Only not dead. And we're linked through the Force. And she's been very helpful in teaching us the Force ever since we lost connection to it. But there's like a reason to everything she does, and I don't fully trust her, and that's like kinda her point. I don't know. I'm very mixed on Kreia. Like, I have no idea where she's gonna go and if I have anything to do with that.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them like a shiver running through you.
Feel this background, whoops, background noise, like a vibration.
It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare.
The currents are moving so fast, almost frantically.
I'm surprised you can feel it. I fear the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force. Their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life.
The anger and desperation is there some way to heal it?
One might as well heal the universe, but such manipulation is possible, yes. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination.
I'm not interested in manipulation, but healing.
Have you learned nothing? Healing is manipulation, and if you do not realize it yet, then you will discover that an act of healing depends largely on your perspective. Manipulation is done through propelling events, or selected ones, into motion. It is done through teaching, through example, and through conviction. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth of what you believe, of hearing it echoed around you in life. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment, for as long as it will last. Feel life as it is, with the crude matter stripped away.
Okay, well I didn't lose influence, that's a good thing. Doing good things is bad actually, and here's why. The thing is, I can hear the half-truths in what she's trying to say, but I kind of refuse to think that teaching a man to fish will actually kill him. Or that it's somehow better than letting him die of starvation. Like, I get what she's going for, but I can also see what she's trying to go for, and I don't like it. Are you a merchant?
Tonoranda manakaran, Pipo and Showa. Loka kamaran and dosoran with no chabi. Du rantamana sobu. Loka kamaran and dosoran with no chabi. Du rantamana sobu.
Look, I'm just here to see what you have.
Febko emareyam ga watasitu insula raka rakachata. Tamasokin chudawanka. Mobiguna wala si Chokoratawa. Donos emeragith. Donos emer.
Okay, why don't I talk to her and see if I can reach a compromise?
Do mababe want to susintu mukarata. To aspecto natada be mabar jokto. To renibu inturata sisi meborokra. Taranamo sibu and dasarans. Krema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo.
Fine, whatever. All roads lead to Rome. I didn't want to shop here anyway. Yeah, don't lead a horse to water. Break its legs so when it gets the water it was more worth it. Something like that, yeah. Definitely one of those, walk it off, boomer type life situations when the whole survival of the fittest thing is bullshit anyway.
Hey, I saw that ship you flew in on. My ship.
What makes you think the ship's yours?
It's the Ebon Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars.
You're not taking the ship.
We'll see about that. Watch yourself. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place.
Yeah, that's right, disappear in this script. Take my space boat. I'm like trying to tiptoe around what could be events. Use the force to pull the load zone closer to him. Probably. I'm like, at this point, trying to avoid talking to people to try and like stop hemorrhaging influence on Kreia. Because I'm not gonna change my ideals for Kreia. But I also don't want to lose influence either in the event of a thing that I'm suspecting. In this garage. "30-second model." While you're at it, can you check my AOL? I'm looking to buy some equipment. Yeah, you can continue communicating with me forever because I will absolutely, absolutely enjoy this for like another 30 minutes. I say not continuing the conversation. Okay, my space boat's still there.
Teriwana jung konata della raguna tunna. Dai rinto run kawrekare papanala ranshinga. Terache wemenoto torere senisensen. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru katada. Fiore pada no ringatel camarada telefibo numbo da bitarana cenirara.
I came here to do business.
Teriwana jung konata della raguna tunna. Dai rinto run kawrekare papanala ranshinga. Terache wemenoto torere senisensen.
I don't know what this race is called because I'm not super familiar with the extended universe of Star Wars pre-Disney, but like, another person like this was on Dantooine selling me stuff. What is this place? Any parts or equipment I can buy? Oh, cool. Super unsettling, yeah, I gotcha. I guess it's one of those you either grew up with it or you didn't, you know? Grew up with him. Hey Rio, how's it going? If I can get a follow command for Rio, please and thank you. Flu. That's flu. I don't know why that particular misspelling of follow amuses me. And I'm not like trying to laugh at you, Era, I promise. It's just I don't know why that we're just kinda That's flow. I think it's the follow-up. Your boss just added you on Facebook, rip. Time to make a new Facebook, right? I had a similar experience, except instead of my boss, it was an ex. You need to change the ship's ID transponder codes. Actually, are you alright?
Dai rinto run kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Derache wemeno to rere senisensen. Onajun senisensen drawiche rakawe orare. Grabanun sesha tulada. Dai rinto wukare ware.
Can you change the ship's ID transponder codes?
Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru katpada. Fiora tora pada no ringatel camarada telefibu nubu de bikarana chenirara.
Could pay you for your time.
Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Derache wemeno to rere senisensen. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Derache wemeno to rere senisensen. Onajun senisensen drawiche canel commercio ce la fibonalot. Ah, besotre naga. Tunindo che raccontunzo desrata. Dune cici menendade secche. Delanna nada. Manama treto sovra barakto drun. Krishe mentru gre bavano flank tur na saganich. Gravawe no ku se tabate. Trawinsto sopotuto neliep grimpatado. Trawinsto busuto neliep grimpatada. Tele ronda nana nintolo gradatira.
Cool. I wonder if they've hinted at this guy being blind yet. I don't know. What happened to him? And what do you want me to do? What plans? They're not dangerous, are they? I was about to say. New droid shield. Sure, I can help you. Uh-huh, that's what I thought. Kreia, I swear to God, if you chew me out for this one. Mechanical cannibal. A mechanibal. Hi there, I'm taking your droid. Got any astromech droids? How's about I buy that droid from you? Only 500 credits? Okay. How about 300? I have a feeling you'll be satisfied with 150. I negotiated your release. Free to go. See you back at Tien's garage. Oh, okay, bye. This one benefits me because I get a droid part out of it. I feel you judging me. There you go. Good to see you made it back all right. Just so you know, I have a copy of the schematics of that part. If I hadn't retrieved the droid, you wouldn't have anything. Okay, he didn't say anything about the droid. I bet if T3 were in my party, that would have gained influence. Intellectual property wants to be free. I'm doing alright today, Rio. How are you, bud? T3 liked that, yeah. Door! Well... it's about the only corner I've not explored yet. Yeah, same, honestly.
Na boska wamba. Gavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma.
Immediately opens other door names. Yeah, you defeat the Sith, save the galaxy. Kreia disliked that. That's the feeling I'm getting. She was a Sith because she told us. But like, Oh god, it sounds like the telemarketer from Telos is on to me. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Bornacinin sopa maranka wongo kumbiaste. Tonga buga shamizanini chonkai chiteraritza sabata.
Is he okay?
Dovrei kun mili wosa slima po wanga sawana mucha.
You know, Q, you're not wrong.
Malampas tarawando krimogawan. Kurmaka traksa veshambash. Joroga komoshi. Juto monshi dakajim.
Hi.
Jona yurtorenga chi ita? Vamos limo podama wanga kun. Bis mula rabest.
I'm gonna be going now. Mission was okay. Cray is an Institute synth. Cray is an Institute Sith. Cray is a Dark Lord of the Synth. This looks vaguely Cantina-esque.
Dovere nincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Wana tu no bayes? Dorcha no bankani honkades? Torasenta winoto. Tono tocha. Tocha ramakaka musuran kana.
They're assassins. Like, the beginning of this planet showed, like, a bunch of different people wanting to kill us, but being ordered not to kill me. They then decided they wanted to kill all of each other. More, HK units, a Wookiee, and those Twi'leks and a couple of others. They decided they were all gonna kill each other. Then they decided, oh wait, no, we can't attack the Jedi, but we can attack their friends. You know what? Why wait? Because loading zones and but thou must, I understand. Nah, I'm good. Password. This better be rockin'.
Tu noka herete pachasa borta. Krisocha wentense me punta. Lorcha wata yuma ni. Hodanga yuma des. Dak bota no chi tagwa ita. Jun soba me rapa. No kuma randisa mak chiksa. Kucha bak tong kinka mata kata. Choba wanga kun not kat yutka kes. Wamba wamba siso misum kun rakawakta. Nushka wana sochi rona bang mamakan.
Can I kill this guy yet?
Siso misum kun rakawakta. Nushka wana sochi rona bang mamakan.
Just leave the girl alone, will you? Keep pressuring her and you'll make it my concern. I'm gonna enjoy this far more than I should. Anything good on you?
Tarachomo sincho kavavolpa muliji kumanaminta barawamba michedos. Kawana bota yuntatanga kinamatura.
Can Rancors even get drunk?
Unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone. Dovrei kun mwili wosa slima po wanga sawana mucha.
Against my better judgment, I'm gonna ask what's going on here.
Kawana bota yuntatanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Dahuba bosa kurata go jujuto yoki.
I have no idea, Q.
Yukito tune. Ta come tak playa justing miki gongo beaste. Kun grabi la king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha. Ke chubo grayo bog no kada itapa.
I'm not one for dancing.
Erinita kavadumpa munsuru kuplaliyawa.
Visas, you have permission to kill him.
No.
Tell me about Voga. Fuel ship! Oh, okay.
Tonkinge bano jansaka nikaraska. Tanchanik de mawimbo kranda mi bilan.
What is in it for me?
Takome tak playa justing miki gongo beaste. Kun grabi la king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha.
What do you need?
Takome tak playa justing miki gongo beaste. Kun grabi la king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha.
I'll see what I can do. I'm so tempted! I am so tempted! I was about to just insta-click 3. Cause like I don't want to offer my party members and then wait. Hey Kreia, you've been pissing me off since the minute I landed on this rock.
Kavadumpa munsuru kuplaliyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma.
None taken.
Sakurata go jujuto yoki. Hiata yamba wajiaki yukito tune.
Okay, cool, my mask is back. Okay, the reason I'm even considering doing this particular side quest is because he said Volga the Hutt deals in fuel shipments, and Telos needs fuel. So that's literally the only reason I'm even considering this. Besides, I'm sort of glad you didn't kill him now. Oh, really? Dang. I can't change my party. Barkeep, a glass of dead this guy on the floor right in front of you.
So, you have the look of a seasoned spacer about you. What backwash you looking for?
Ew. Know anything about the area?
Well, honestly, there's not much for people like you and I to do around here. If you, catch my meaning.
No, I don't think I do.
Well, there is plenty for them to do. The Pazak Den, swoop races, the Jek Tar, they're pretty much taken care of. Now there's a place that's literally deadly for our kind. Jek Tar is a bar filled with cyanogen gas. It's poisonous to you and I, but the aliens drink it up and pay good money to do so. The cyanogen gas also acts as a social buffer, since the people who typically frequent Jek Tar aren't interested in speaking to the likes of you and I in the first place.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah, the Pazak Den is a glorified social club for hardline Pazak players. It's exclusive, though, with a guard at the door and a password needed to simply get in. Don't know why you'd want to get into that place. Bunch of Firaxa sharks will strip you clean of your credits, especially the Champ.
The Champ!
He only shows up to play people he deems worthy enough. He'd just have to beat about everyone in that place before he'd even think of coming out of hiding.
I like how you don't care that I murdered this guy. I don't care that I murdered this guy either, and neither did the game because I didn't gain dark side points for it. Like, yeah, no, literally light mastery. That guy is long since dead. I killed him, didn't need to, did it anyway, and the game doesn't even care. Take that, nice guys. Not the first time Jedi murdered someone in the bar. Probably not, but in terms of, like, the movies, it would be. So I kinda wanna check it on my space boat. Because I can't change party members. This is an elderly gran, a granny gran. Maybe. I know that grand design for Grand Blue Fantasy. A Granny Grand playing Grand Blue. My ship seems intact.
That is how flesh and blood fights. Let me show you how one fights when one's life is the Force.
I won't let you harm him. I have heard of your kind. You worship strength, when all it does is rot you from within.
You echo another's words, and as an echo it lacks strength. Who is it who has taught you of the Sith?
I will not reveal my mistress, and I will not allow you to harm the one I travel with.
I cannot harm him. His wound lies deeper than any blade could reach. That is why I follow him, and protect him.
Protect him? I do not believe you.
You do not believe that I would follow him to death. Certainly you have read as much in my movements as I have in yours. There's no shame in your feelings, Sister of the Echani.
Be silent! You know nothing of what you speak.
You are alone, and wounded in your own way. I can feel its pulse, like a heartbeat from the past. But if you will not believe that I mean him no harm, then believe this. I wish to learn from him. I wish to learn how it is he still walks, when his spirit is nothing more than a shell. When you feel as though the Force, as if life itself has abandoned you. I had a question for you, Sister of the Echani. The exile. What does he look like?
Like a man, but it is more than that. And I do not have the words. He shows kindness, both small and great, to strangers. He does this without hesitation. He has accepted me, even though he and my mistress are not allies. All I know is he makes me doubt the words of my mistress, one whom I have pledged to serve.
Such feelings are not unknown to me.
And I fear such doubts. Could it be my mistress was wrong about him? That perhaps he did not seek to betray the Order? That perhaps my mistress felt as I did? And when he left the Order, she found that she doubted as well. There is a feeling that emanates from him, like a sound from far away that has traveled a vast distance to reach here.
Like an echo. Your words are well chosen, Sister of the Echani. I will not harm him. But it is not me you should fear. There are darker things in the galaxy than a blind one such as I.
Interesting enough. They hate each other, but like me, and I'm just... I'm a Jedi in a mask. Former Jedi in a mask. Any more training for me, or are you still pissed?
Yes. Very well. I confess its nature eludes me. It seems that at times of stress... Very well.
Okay. I was thinking maybe I could get some more of that mind reading treatment going on. I wanted to know why I couldn't change party members in the cantina. It was like one thing I disliked about the first game, like the one thing about the first game I actually didn't really care for. The love plot between Revan and Bastila. I didn't much care for that. Bastila turning to the dark side for a minute was cool. It was pretty good character development, and it was pretty well foreshadowed from like the very beginning. Well, not the very beginning, but like from the time she joins your party. But it being resolved through the power of love uwu just kinda didn't sit well with me. It felt very, very cliche Hollywood, and I didn't care for it. Yeah, refugee sector. Okay, I guess we're going to the refugee sector proper now, as if we weren't already. Okay. Hello. What do you want? Why can't the refugees leave? And who's this overseer? Sounds like the one I need to see. Come on, I'm just visiting. Do I really have to pay the toll? Haha! Charisma's a dump stat my ass. Thank you, kind sirs. Yeah. I love talking my way out of stuff just because it's hilarious when I meet those checks. I'm not even using force powers. In fact, I don't even think I have that as an option. I, like, have intentionally not taken that option this entire playthrough. Bet your ass I do next playthrough, though. A dark side of this will be very interesting. Because, like, whatever happens with Kreia, I'm very curious, because, like, there are times she's kind of repulsed by my actions as, you know, like, potentially dark side actions as well. Like, she's not necessarily trying to get me into the dark side. She's trying to, like... I don't know what she's trying to do, but there are times where dark side is just too much for her. So I'm very curious as to what a dark side playthrough would be like here. Of this and 1, to be honest. Those are going to be things I do probably after La Mulana 2. I'll do 1, then a break game or 2, and then 2. Dark side. Because, like, I feel like that would be very interesting. One thing I like about these games is there's virtually no grinding. So, like, say a 3 to 5 hour session. I've been saying it off and on for weeks, yes. La Mulana 2. That's right. Comments on our own news post from before. People are babies. In what regard? Because literally the only thing I'm complaining about Risk of Rain 2 is it could use more items, I guess, but also I kind of like the stacking. And also, nerf burn. Otherwise, the game's kind of pretty much fine as is. Yeah, so it's not going to be next. After Hollow Knight, I'm going to do the rest of Yakuza 0 as main game. And then I'm going to do La Mulana 2, I think. So these doors all had a purpose. Bringing the game to Stadia for a supplement. Stadia version is getting an exclusive stage for a bit. Should be ported to PC and console later on. People acting like they're gonna boycott the game. Lamau? It's a single stage, who cares? Let Stadia have something, damn it. I feel bad for Stadia. If okay, so it's not like Epic. Epic getting timed exclusives is kind of scummy because of the way Epic goes about it. But if, like, it's a timed exclusive, like, timed exclusives don't necessarily bother me. It's one of those, okay, I'll get it when it comes my way. Because I'm not getting a Stadia, hell no. But, like, who cares? You're gonna boycott the game over a timed exclusive stage? It's a stage. It's not even a full game. Exactly, Misha. That's where I was going with that. The majority of the unfinished content added to PC. Unfinished content? Stadia Silrun. That's, like, that was actually my very first thought. Okay, so I don't know if Vogue is with the Exchange or not, so I gotta play nice with these guys. Hello.
This is Serico territory. Get out of here before we space you. Got it?
We're the Serico.
We are. Now beat it.
No.
This is Serico. That's a laugh. Look, blow out of here like space dust, or you'll be a new stain on the cargo hold.
Okay.
Fine.
Get out of here if you don't want to get blastoed. What happens if I open the door by force?
Hey, I thought I told you to stay out of here.
Okay, I knew that would happen, but I had to know for sure. Borderlands 2. Also, that guy's accent changed in a hurry. It's such a dumb line that I quote, like, all the time, getting blastoed. I quote it, like, all the time, but it's so dumb. But that's kind of just how Borderlands is, really. Crazy Earl. No, it's not Crazy Earl. It's the guy that drives the caravan. The armored caravan that you can just rob. Okay, I gotta be careful about walking around cutscene ways, because I don't want to, like... And the cargo was people! Okay. Bandit, Handin, maybe Sniper to push. Oh, Sky Meadows get a unique boss in the Grandparent, likely to get some other new bosses, new item, maybe 2 or 3 new survivors. Oh, hell yeah, now we're talking. Bandit, Handin, Sniper to push. So now what the hell is so loud out there that people are like drilling into stuff? If it's super loud on stream, I apologize. I gotta be real careful about the ones who are standing still. And the ones with names. This feels like a next time kind of thing. Damn it.
Kavanatagalu, Kavanami Donkey Krato. Rashatugnolia yakta desa uba lia jetufurg.
Kavadumba munsuru kupla liyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma.
Yatuka, Urwanrika, Chotin, Wanima, Orata, Wakata, Chiluma.
That's a good cliffhanger for next time. Next time, outside, hopefully, outside doesn't go brrrr, and we get to figure out what's up with this planet and its refugee sector, and then we try not to get blasted.